Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. Well, I'm going to be talking about there's some recent talk on seen online regarding the stock market appears to be plummeting. You had that it was that Brent crude price had gone down, it dropped to like 31% or something according to some or a report on Yahoo.com. And the thing is, a lot of this is attributed, it seems, to the coronavirus. Now, the coronavirus right now has affected well over 100,000 people right now. So I don't think this is anything to really scoff at and make light of or see as very trivial or insignificant. This is the first thing I want to talk about. I noticed there was, as far as some astrological transits that might be related to this. Now we have this series of conjunctions in Capricorn right now. It's starting out with Mars in Capricorn, followed by Jupiter, conjunct Jupiter in Capricorn, conjunct Pluto in Cap, and then Pluto in Cap hitting conjuncting Saturn in Capricorn. When you look at conjunctions in astrology, it's a very systematic breakdown. It starts out by defining it. It starts out with the energy of the first planet in the series of conjunctions. Then it ends, completes, or culminates with that final, with the last planet. Now, starting out with Mars, there seems to be some fear of, some war perhaps connected with this crude oil situation, the fact that it's the price plummeting or whatever and what have you, and um, Mars, of course, can be about war. Now, hitting the fact that Mars is conjuncting Jupiter, Jupiter can be, I would say, things that are global. Then you're hitting, then Jupiter, of course, hitting Pluto. Pluto can be connected with viruses. Could be a global, now we're looking at, this fear maybe of some war that may be connected with this global, with the global virus. And then it ends with Saturn in fear. And you have Saturn, of course, the planet, restrictions, and Saturn can be connected with fears as well. And the fact that this is all in Capricorn is obviously could be causing a lot of despondency, people being very pessimistic, very doubtful regarding this. And this is in looking at this as well. I mean, another thing, of course, this is right. This we're hearing about this right at the time of this super moon in Virgo, and Virgo, of course, could be about our anxiety and worry, and the fact that the super moon, it may be a little bit more amplified and intensified. This falls in the ninth house of the United States natal chart, and the chart that I'm using for the United States, of course, is the one with the Sagittarius rising. I know some of you may not agree with it or concur with the Sag rising chart, but I like it. I think it's the one that seems to fit the United States. And anyway, and also that moon, that super moon in Virgo, is also very close proximity to the Neptune in the United States ninth house, and Neptune can be about diseases, of course, and you have this in Virgo, of course, a lot of worry, I would say, and this is something where, and also too, you're talking about Virgo is also a sign, the sign associated with health as well, and I look at this as well. There's something else that I noticed too, as far as the transits in the United States chart. Well, actually, the transit by itself, just globally, it could be, well, the transit you're having Uranus very tight conjunction to Uranus in very tight conjunction to Venus right now. So when you have a conjunction like that, that could be that's an indicator of either some kind of fluctuation with finances with people. It could, as far as globally in this case, because this is we're talking about electional aspects, or something unanticipated, something that was unpredictable or shocking, that was connected with something of an economical nature. I mean, also too, another way to look at this is the fact that if you have Uranus conjunct Venus in Taurus, remember Venus is about what we enjoy and what we value, and this could be some kind of shock or some disruption of people to the enjoyment of their peace, their stability, their tranquility, their creature comforts. This is something that's happening now for a lot of people, where they're having a disruption, sadly, in their peace, in their tranquility, and in their stability in their life. And the fact is, Venus and Taurus, I would say, could be about financial stability. And now, because you have this Uranus hitting it, that could be something where where the people are not feeling quite as secure, quite as safe as they did before in matters pertaining to finances. In the United States chart, the Sag rising chart, this transit, the conjunction of Uranus and Taurus to Venus and Taurus, is in the fifth house of investments and speculation. So it's not surprising there's something that's happened that was very shocking monetarily with the stock market. This is not, I don't see this as being, some astrological coincidence. There's a lot of people, that debunk astrology and refute it, that will say this is all hocus pocus. It's just something where just a complete, mind-boggling coincidence. I really don't see this. You're having Uranus conjunct Venus, a very tight conjunction, mind you. It's not like we're talking about 2 or 3 degrees away. I mean, it's in that it's less, I believe, less than a degree from each other right now. So there's also, this indicates, though, or Uranus can be about the future as well. So this is about right now the focus on the future of the of monetary matters associated with the stock market for the United States right now. We're talking about as well, and again, that series of conjunctions that I was telling you about, most of that, those planets in that series of conjunctions in Capricorn right now are in the United States second house. I think Mars is on the cusp. Transit Mars in Capricorn, I believe, is in the first house of that United States natal chart, but very close to the second house cusp, and the rest of those Capricorn planets are in the second house of economy, of finances for the United States. Again, United States is also, they're going through their Pluto return, which is obviously not helping matters right now. You're talking about, this Pluto return, I think, for the United States. I think a lot of this is manifesting in the fact that when you look at Pluto, that Pluto can be about death, and it could also be about viruses. You're talking about the transit, Pluto being close to transit Pluto, very close proximity to the United States natal Pluto. This could be a time where we're seeing, this could be part of the reason we may be seeing some deaths in the United States as a result of this virus. Sadly, you have some people that speculate that it was government related. Of course, Capricorn is the zodiac sign associated with the government. Some people, will say, well, it's because the government, it's escalating and exacerbating because the government's not acting. There's even some people that think this is government, that it was initiated by the government. I don't really know if I go, if I'm really subscribing to that theory. I don't subscribe right now currently to any magazines. I don't know if I subscribe to that theory as well, but people will still speculate on it as well. I mean, but it is, as of right now, I would say that's about conjecture and speculation, big time. You also have, sadly, a number of these, these planets from, Capricorn are opposing the United States natal Mercury. So you have transit Saturn, you could say perhaps in long opposition to the United States natal Mercury. that could be where a lot of people in the United States are, where they're thinking, unfortunately, is really very pessimistic, very negative, very downcast at this point in time. And of course, transit Saturn, even by itself, in the second house of the United States, again, the Sag rising chart, could be an indicator of restrictions in the economy in the United States. And I'm hoping this isn't like, harbinger of things to come as far as like a recession or a depression for the United States. Well, and you also have at this time, you have the sun is conjunct Neptune in Pisces, very tight conjunction to it. So what this is now, I think this could manifest in a very really about the focus. The sun is about our focus, shining the light, and Neptune can be about diseases. So you have this focus and the shining the light, so to speak, on diseases that could be Piscean related. And Pisces can be about diseases that may not have a cure, that can't be eradicated. As we know, as of what we know right now, there is no vaccine that can eradicate or obliterate this coronavirus. So, though, in a lot of this, again, this energy is very intensified and amplified, given that this is happening at the time of the full of the supermoon in Virgo. So, this is really right now. I mean, this is very serious time. I think we're going to have when transit Saturn, as it moves into Aquarius and it starts to separate a little bit from Pluto right now. I think you might have it might subside at least the fears a little bit regarding this virus. I think I think what it is too is that you have the transit Jupiter, very not far from transit Pluto right now in Capricorn. Where Pluto I say could be about paranoia as well, and Jupiter making a conjunction to it could exacerbate that, could inflate that energy. Remember, as I've stated in previous videos, many of you may already know, I mean, Jupiter could be strongly benign and benevolent, but it could also have the proclivity to enlarge and expand. And in a lot of cases, this could be enlarging and expanding those kind of, the paranoia and really, and the fact that people might speculate that it's government related, given that this is in Capricorn, this energy. So, I don't really. There are people that do think that this was initiated by some government. It's something we may never know. But really, that's basically all, as far as what I wanted to say regarding this. And the thing about it now is that you have transit Mercury right now stationary, I believe, getting ready to go direct and out of that retrograde period. And being in Aquarius, this could be a time where we might actually get some Aquarius energy could be very clear, very perspicacious, where we might get some clear information regarding what's going on right now, whether it's with the economy, the coronavirus, and where it's not. I mean, in fact, we're going out of Pisces, Mercury in Pisces for a little bit, where the communications may be a little bit less nebulous or unclear, but of course transit Mercury is going to enter Pisces again in the near future, relatively soon again anyway. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.